Hey there, Internet friends. Trevor Starkey here with another episode of Trevor Trove Gaming, Tuesday edition. I didn't really have any games or anything to talk about today because I finished Shadow of the Colossus, and that was what Sunday's review was about. And then from there, I played a little bit of Divinity: Original Sin. I started that up to see what that's like. Fun. I like the humor in it. I haven't gotten nearly far enough to really give any kind of concrete impressions, and I don't know if that's the game I'm, in the mood for right now. I picked up Death of the Outsider, Dishonored, Death of the Outsider, basically the add-on from Dishonored 2 that came out last year. Dishonored 2, one of my favorite games from that year, so I look forward to diving into Dishonored, Death of the Outsider. I also picked up, it's over in a bag over there, so I don't have it here to show, but I picked up Lego Marvel Superheroes 2. I was just at Best Buy today, and I was like, I think I'm ready to pull the trigger on that one. I think I'm in the headspace for more of a collect-a-thon-y kind of game than something that's going to be much more narrative and tactically strategy-based like Divinity: Original Sin was. So that's what I've got on the gaming front kind of coming up, but I also wanted to talk about a couple things that showed up at my house yesterday. First, I want to show off my Extra Life gold medallion, gold badge, gold medal that I got for raising $1,000 for Phoenix Children's Hospital. Thank you again to everybody who contributed to that campaign in 2017 last year. I'd gotten a silver one 2 years ago, back when I did my Bloodborne stream, because I raised over $500 in that stream, and the $1,000 benchmark that I hit last year got me one of the gold ones. So that was really cool. That showed up yesterday. Super excited for that. And then the other thing that showed up was a big old pile of books that I picked up because I was like, you know what? I'm going to go and support those cool people over at Boss Fight Books. I picked up a couple books of theirs in the past. Haven't had a chance to sit down and read any of them yet. But I was looking through kind of what they've got, and so I was like, you know what? I like enough of those games in the first 12 that they did, the original set of 12, that I picked up like the first set of 12. So I've got book 1 here, Earthbound, one of my all-time favorite games, one of the best games on the Super Nintendo. Got Chrono Trigger, another one of the great standouts from that era. I didn't actually end up playing it until I played a little bit of it, like when it was on a anthology disc on PlayStation 1, but I didn't really dive into it until the DS version. Yeah, that was when I finally actually sat down and played Chrono Trigger, which, one of the all-time greats, Squaresoft games of that era that I just had never sat down with. I've got ZZT, which I don't even know what that is, so I look forward to reading about that, I guess. Galaga, one of the great arcade games. Nice. Jagged Alliance 2, another one I'm completely unfamiliar with. I didn't even know there was a Jagged Alliance 1, so looking forward to learning about that. Super Mario Bros. 2, solid game that is underrated, I think. In the eyes of Super Mario 1 and Super Mario 3, and then Super Mario World, of course. Super Mario 2, great. And yeah, it's got its whole weird Doki Doki history, but it's definitely one that I wish it got more love, and so cool to see that they got one of the books there. We've got one called Bible Adventures, so awesome. Nintendo original NES game. We've got Baldur's Gate 2. Never delved into any of the Baldur's Gate stuff, but solid kind of precursor and early BioWare game. So looking forward to looking into that at some point. Metal Gear Solid, which I was just talking earlier about Metal Gear Solid 5 with my friends Logan and Quentin. That as the only Metal Gear game I've played in the series. So interested to see what Ashley and Anthony Birch have put together. They are the writers of that one. The thing that kind of triggered this whole purchase was the Shadow of the Colossus Nick Sutner book. He was recently on Kind of Funny Games talking about the book, and I'd seen it, years ago when it was first coming out, and I was like, oh, like I didn't really ever connect with that game. I still didn't as of the Sunday review, but interested to read about it and maybe see it as like the supplemental guide for the game. We got Spelunky here by the creator Derek Yu, which I also have never really gotten into. I played it a little bit, so I've got it on some of my systems, probably my PS4, I think. And like it's super roguelike, which isn't really my scene. But I loved his documentary, the No Clip documentary that he did about Spelunky. So I'm interested to see his kind of especially the fact that he wrote the book on it. I'm interested to see kind of his ins and outs on that. And then the last of the Book of 12, we have World of Warcraft. Another one, of course, iconic game that I never really delved into, but having now played a little bit of Final Fantasy 14 online, I am no longer an MMORPG virgin, so I'm interested to read about a little bit of World of Warcraft. The original boss fight book that I picked up, I got Kingdom Hearts 2 as well from Alexa Ray Korea. Over at What's Good Games and Fan Gamer, I believe. And so that's one I had picked up a while back, and then just my love of Final Fantasy, I picked up the Final Fantasy V book by Chris Kohler. Again, haven't had a chance to read any of them, but I'm gonna hopefully break that. I'm gonna hopefully delve into some doing some reading instead of just all of my other nonsense. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about today. I got a nice little collection from a bookshelf, and then I also got the awesome Extra Life gold medal. So again, thank you to everybody who helped make that possible. I look forward to diving into any number of these books, hopefully. And yeah, that's what I wanted to touch on today. Hope you're doing well. Let me know if you've got any of the boss fight books, if you've read any of them, what you thought, any I should check out that are not in my repertoire. As always, I've been your host, Trevor Starkey. You can follow me at Snarky Starkey on Twitter. And until next time, from here at The Trove, treasure your friends.